All right, so after I filled up all my tires, there's a few things. I've used this a couple times. One for just, pumping up tires, but also I blew up my sprinklers. I have a 4-zone system. Pretty long runs, but one thing, if you're planning on blowing out your sprinklers with just a 30-gallon tank, I was able to do about 1 zone per tank, full tank of air. So just to make sure that I get all the water out. So it took a little while. If it takes like 7.5 minutes to fill up each tank, it will take about about 30 minutes, probably a little bit more. You have to go back and forth depending on where your line is to hook up your air compressor. But it's not too bad though. It worked pretty well. Saved me $50. I mean, it's not going to pay, for itself in a couple years just on that. I mean, I'm going to use this for other things, but one use that worked well for me. Didn't get too hot. It was good. No hiccups. So I didn't let it run continuously. I let it fill up, drain, and then fill up again. So I didn't want it to work too much. It didn't get too hot, so it was good. So it works well. The things I like about it, obviously it's very quiet, as you can tell, or may not. It's actually very quiet. One of the reasons why I bought this particular model, I mean, obviously I'd like to have the most expensive and nicest things, but if you're just looking to have it as a residential air compressor just to do things around the house and do some light car work like I do, I think it's perfect. I think it's a step up from, say, a sealed unit. I think this one's kind of a good in between of going really expensive, probably over $600-700, getting a fixed unit that's not on wheels. I still like this, how I have the ability to wheel it around. It's on rubber tires, so I can wheel it around very easily. The way I have it set up, I probably couldn't because I have this hardwired, but I can change it if need be. So another thing that I really like about this setup is that it's fixed. It stays right here, which is nice. All I have to do is turn it on, plug it in when I'm ready to use it. I do like this setup with the hose, how I have the air to water separator here, then it comes out and comes up to this swivel Husky hose, which is nice. Wish it was a little bit longer, but I think it's pretty good. And then it's just hooked up to this Husky reel, which is okay. Things I like, obviously I just told you it's nice. It's a clean setup, and it actually is doing its job. I don't know if you can see, but there is water in there. There's water in there, so it's good. It's taking out the water, which is nice. Some things I don't like about this particular setup right here. I like this, but this connection right here into the reel after this swivel head, I like this connection. It moves around, it's nice. But the way this is set up, I don't like it. I think it kinks the hose. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of kinks the hose. So I try to have a little loop there so it doesn't kink the hose. And I think, I don't know if it's this hose in particular, but has this rubber kind of hard piece that kind of prevents, I think, the hose from kinking or bending awkwardly too fast. But even here, even if you try to bend this too much, it could kink it. So I don't want to risk that. So that's why I always have some loop here, some slack, so when I reel it up, doesn't put too much pressure there. Another thing, it's kind of flimsy. I mean, to move it around, it's $20. I mean, I can't complain, but I do have it bolted down to this 2x6. So I thought it was pretty sturdy, but it's kind of wobbly. As you turn the wheel, it kind of moves around. It's not heavy duty, but I think it's good enough for what I need it for. So that's one thing if I do get really sick of it, I would like to buy probably a little bit better reel, maybe one that kind of, reels up nicer, a little bit easier. This is kind of, like I said, flimsy. But I think it's good enough for now. Another thing I don't really like about it is the shutoff. I think I did change it to a ball valve, but I might get an extension pipe to bring it out here so I don't have to reach under and grab the ball valve. It came with kind of a twist valve, which is kind of cumbersome to use, so I switched that. But I'll probably get like an extension pipe to come out here so I can just kneel down and open up the valve versus reaching under. So that's another thing I'll probably change. And then one other thing, I like this hose. Oh, hi Chloe. I like this hose. The only thing I'd probably change or maybe add a pressure regulator at the end of the hose. Reason being, when I was doing my sprinklers, each zone required a little bit different air pressure, so I kind of had to go out here where my pressure, where my water comes in, where I hooked up the air compressor to. I had to come back around, adjust the pressure, go back and forth. So it would have been nice to just max this out or go as high as I needed to here, and then adjust the pressure at the end of this hose. So next year I'll probably do that, but it's a pretty simple setup. I just plugged in the air compressor into my sprinkler kind of valve system here. Just hooked it up right there. Pretty simple. So like I said, I'm happy so far. Total cost, I had gotten a few odds and ends for the quick connects, things like that, but basically here the compressor itself was $3.99. The hose reel was $19.99. The rubber hose, so this hose right here, so from here all the way up, including this swivel 90 degree, was $20 or $19.99. I bought some extra oil, that was $4.99, sorry. Some odds and ends, probably like $5 or $10 in fittings, some more quick connects, like at the end right here of the hose. This right here, this filter was $12.99. Now one thing I didn't mention before, but this thing is not very easy to work with. When I first got it, this clear bowl right here should easily be able to be pulled off, or at least unscrewed, but I had the toughest time pulling this thing off. I don't know if someone put it in like crooked, cross-threaded it, but I was finally able to get off with some pliers, some channel locks, but I kind of marked up. I had to put channel locks both on the metal piece and on the air, on the bowl, and kind of marked it up. I repainted this so it doesn't look as shitty, but there's, I don't know if you can tell, but there's some marks probably from the pliers, so I just painted this up, but it works well now. It's just, it's $12, so I didn't expect much, but it works. So that was $12.69 actually. And what else did I get here? The ball valve, that was $9 at the bottom here. I replaced that with the ball valve. What was in there before was, let me grab it. So we just had this thing right here. Basically twist it, and it opens up the valve and twist it the other way, and it closes. So I took that out. So altogether, and I bought just a Husky air gun, so just to blow off some stuff. So I don't have any air tools yet, but I'll probably get a impact first, and then probably an air ratchet. But so altogether, with what I bought, what you see here, as well as the hose. So the 50-foot hose is a rubber hose. That was $39.98. So altogether, with everything, it was $5.65. So I don't think it was a bad deal. Like I said, I think this should run for a long time. Do what I need to do. Doesn't take up that much space. Pretty compact. It's not too tall. So yeah, overall I'm happy. If it ever gives me problems, or if I have any more updates, I may run a dedicated, so right now I have a dedicated 20 amp circuit coming into here, so all the outlets in the garage are on one circuit. I may bring in a 240 volt connection and then convert this to 240 volt, so we'll see, but for right now the 120 volt is fine. So yeah, well, hope you enjoyed this little video. Hopefully you get some more information. I think when I was researching, I did a lot of research, and I didn't find many videos, but hopefully this will help other people trying to look for kind of a more of an upgrade versus the cheaper options that are out there, which are fine, but I wanted something a little bit more beefy, something that will last and hopefully do what I need to do. So if anyone has any questions, just let me know. Thank you.